Hello ladies, thanks for tuning in. For those of you who can't stay until the end, don't worry, I'm gonna put the replay on YouTube when we are done. Okay, so how are you guys? Hello ladies. We're gonna talk about why he ghosted so that you can understand what it means to ghost, what does it look like, and how to prevent ghosting as well. How are you guys? Why did he ghost? Let me tap the title so that more people can join us. Why did he ghost you? So I'm gonna put what did he ghost you? What you ignore about male psychology. And for those of you who can't stay until the end, don't worry, I'm gonna put a replay on YouTube. How are you guys? Oops, I didn't write well. Wait. Why did he ghost? Okay. So how are you guys? Do you all know what it means to ghost? I'm asking because sometimes those words are new for some people, and they used to be new for me as well. And I feel like in English, you guys have so many words for everything in dating. Like you have situationships, ghosting, and all of that. And in French, we just say, yeah, he disappeared. So yeah, this is what ghosting is basically, is when a guy or you disappear without any explanation, without any closure. So it can happen. So basically you can be talking with a guy for a few days or a few weeks, and then he stops answering your text, and in the past he was initiating, he was showing you interest and all of that, showing that he cared, and one day out of nowhere he just stopped. Okay, he disappeared and you got no explanation. So what I want to say is that it can happen before sex. So it can be when you are in the talking stage. So I want you to know that it doesn't have to be something that happens after sex. Sometimes it happens after sex. Sometimes it's before sex. So you talk almost daily and all of that. Like you have a few dates and you feel like you met the one, and one day he just disappears. And after sex it happens as well, and it happens often. You got intimate, and after the first time you guys get intimate, he stops messaging you, he disappears, and yeah, you simply don't see his energy coming your way. So now I want to talk about why do men ghost. So the short answer is, and by the way, if you are interested about understanding male psychology better, I invite you to my webinar. My femininity webinar is gonna happen this Thursday at 6 p.m. Los Angeles time, and that's only for the women who bought my guide. So if you want to join, it's still time for you to grab my guide, and you're gonna get the invitation. And if you didn't get the invitation, simply send me a DM here on Instagram at High Value Queens. So why do men ghost? I'm gonna start with the long answer. So if it happens before sex, it can be that initially they were somewhat interested, but you didn't really magnetize them, in the sense where you were too much into them, you were chasing them a bit too much, and you were waiting a bit too much to have them reciprocate, have them ask you out, and all of that. I have seen men ghost before the first date, actually you were only in the talking stage, but they still ghosted, and sometimes they ghost after a few dates. So if it happens during the talking stage and you had no dates at all, it simply means that, yeah, you were not his real type, but he was using you as, as a way for him to validate himself. Because you need to know that for men, there's nothing worse than having absolutely no girl to talk to. So he can, ask for your number because on the moment he thought that you were cool and kind of pretty, without being, his ideal, but he thought, yeah, she's kind of cute and she's cool, so yeah, I'm gonna ask her for her number, and it also validates me as a man and all of that. So yeah, they just go for it. And you're gonna see that under this scenario, you're gonna be in the talking stage for a lot of time, like for a few weeks, and he will never ask you out, and you're gonna start to feel frustrated because you're like, trying to grab his attention, and you think that if you wait long enough, he's gonna end up asking you out. But it doesn't come, and at some point he simply ghosts you. And when it happens, it means that you were his backup plan, and he was trying to pursue another woman who is his type, but it was a challenge and all of that. So in the meantime, you were validating him. Okay, so you are giving him the ego boost that he needed. And yeah, I know it's sad, and I know that when it happens to you, you don't see it happen. Like I also think that something in you, like you have that gut feeling that tells you that there is something off, and he's not really chasing you, but because you are clueless about male psychology, and because he's also the only guy you have lacked in a while, you still hang in there. And then you also have some men who gonna ghost you after a few dates. So hello ladies, for those of you who are tuning in, I want to let you know that we are talking about ghosting, and I want to help you understand why some men ghost you, and how to prevent ghosting as well. So we're gonna talk about how to prevent ghosting at the end of this live. And if you can't stay until the end, don't worry, I'm gonna put the replay on YouTube in like 10 minutes. I should be done in 10 minutes. So yeah, when they ghost you after a few dates, it also means that they were not that into you. Like they enjoyed your presence, you were pretty cool and all of that, but you didn't truly magnetize them. Okay, so on a scale of 0 to 10, they can ghost you if they consider that you are a 7. Okay, so a 7 is a woman who is pretty. It's enough for them, to have consistent sex with you, take you on dates, and it's gonna feel like a friendship. It's gonna be 50-50 a lot. But if you want him to be consistent and all of that, he needs to think that you are at least a 9. Okay, and when I say a 9, I'm not talking about looks only. It's about your attitude as well. Okay, you can ask any man. If you ask him, what's the difference between an 8 and a 9, and he's gonna tell you attitude. And what they mean by that is a woman who has high self-esteem, who is magnetic, and who understands the femininity principles, how to magnetize. She knows all of that. Okay, she has great soft skills, great social skills. She understands male psychology well. She knows how to throw men off of their game, and this is something that you're gonna learn in more depth during my webinar. That's gonna happen this Thursday, and it's for those of you who bought from me already, and I want to go deeper. And if that's your case, please send me a DM, and you're gonna get your free invite. It's at 6 p.m. Los Angeles time, so guys, I'm gonna be up early. I'm gonna be up at 3 a.m. so that I can deliver this webinar for you. So make sure to register, because I want to go live when you guys are available. So yeah, make sure you tune in this Thursday. So yeah, we just talked about why do men ghost after a few dates. And another thing that some women make is that during those dates, the first few dates, they start to fall in love, and they start to think that the guy is almost their boyfriend. So what they do is that they behave like their girlfriends, and the guy, for him it's like a red flag. It's like, okay, she's already in love, I barely know her, we had just a few dates, and she already thinks that she's my girlfriend. He's gonna lose interest in you, and he's gonna start just chasing other women. Okay, so be careful here. He's your boyfriend only once he has committed to you, not when you think that he's almost your boyfriend. Okay, so yeah, they're gonna ghost basically when the interest wasn't high enough. And you need to understand that interest is a feeling, it's an emotion, and just like any emotion, it fluctuates. Okay, his interest can be really high at the beginning, and then it can drop. It can also be like you look gorgeous on your pictures on Tinder, and when he meets you in real life, actually you use too much filters, and he feels like that's not the same lady. Or it can also be that you're super attractive and all of that, and you look playful and all of that, but when he meets you in real life, you're actually boring and shy. Okay, that's the reason why you need to work on your charisma as well, and not just on your looks. So, first, his interest dropped. The second reason why he ghosted, it can be that he wasn't really into you at the beginning anyway, but he needed a backup plan. And the third reason is like his interest was just so low that he forgot about you. He wasn't even thinking, oh, I'm gonna ghost her. It's like, when you go grocery shopping and you forget something. You forget about salt, or I don't know, you forgot about that little thing that is irrelevant and that won't change anything. So he's not even thinking, oh, I'm being rude. Just thinking, oh, he might see your name and, oh, whatever, and totally forget about you and live his life and all of that. So now I want to discuss how to prevent ghosting, because that's the bottom line, right? Because you need to understand why men ghost, what it means to ghost, but you also need to understand how to prevent ghosting. So you need to understand that men don't ghost women they are interested in. Okay? So the secret to prevent ghosting is making sure that he's falling for you and you guys are building a genuine connection. And for him to fall for you, you need to stop getting attached prematurely. And this is something that we cover in the webinar. When you're gonna join, we're gonna talk about it in more depth. But yes, you need to stop getting attached prematurely, because when you get attached prematurely, he picks it up. Okay, all of that, like, it happens subconsciously, but he picks it up. And when he picks it up, his masculine energy is turned off by you, and he starts to be interested toward chasing more women, other women. Okay, so this is the key. You need to stop getting attached so fast, because when you get attached fast, you start to think that it's almost your boyfriend. You start to have a lot of anxiety. You start to radiate anxiety instead of radiating femininity, playfulness, trust, patience, and all of that. And also, you stop acting like a challenge. Okay, you think, but if I act like a challenge, he's gonna leave. You think, but if I act like a challenge and I challenge him, he's gonna think, who does she think she is? You see, and you think that no, with the men that you like, it just needs to flow and all of that, and you don't have to act feminine or to follow the femininity principles that you see online. No, it doesn't work like that. Those feminine principles are for you to use on the men that you really like, not just on men that you don't like too much but you just entertain. No, you need to use femininity principles on all men, and it's actually the more you like the guy, the more you have to use it, the more you have to reinforce boundaries, the more strict you need to be when it comes to femininity principles. Okay, most women think that those principles are just for you to protect yourself when you deal with a player, because when we see that major player, we have some sort of we have a massive red flag in our head. We think, oh, I won't take this guy seriously. I know that he's a player, so you don't end up falling for him. You fall for the sweet guy, the guy who is tall, handsome, and sweet, kind, generous, and all of that. And he doesn't look like a player. He looks like a genuine guy, a genuinely nice guy. So you think, oh, with him I don't need to apply femininity principles. With him I can just be authentic. But acting feminine doesn't make you less authentic. Okay, it makes you more you, more wifey material. And I guarantee you, when you show up like that, he goes nowhere. So I'm almost done. I'm gonna put this replay on YouTube. And don't forget that if you bought from me already, whether it's like, you joined my Patreon or you bought my femininity guide, you are invited to my webinar that's gonna happen this Thursday at 6 p.m. Los Angeles time. It's gonna be 9 a.m. It's gonna be 9 p.m. in Los Angeles. Okay. Well, I'm gonna try to go live again later this week if I can. And yeah, I'm gonna put this replay on YouTube, and I will see you there. Bye bye, ladies. Have a lovely day.